Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Drama-O-Rama online. I'm Mrs. Combs, and I'm so excited to share this time with you today. Now, remember to have your journals ready, and let's get started. For today's warm-up, we are going to use vocalizations and movement to explore 3 different animal characters. First, we are going to walk about the space in neutral. Then I'm going to call out an animal. And when I say action, I want you to start moving and vocalizing like that animal. Are you ready? Find a safe space to move around. Then stand in neutral. Walk about the space in neutral. When I say action, I want you to move and vocalize like a tiger. And action. Roar. 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 Freeze. And neutral. Now I want you to move and vocalize like a bee. And action. Freeze. And neutral. Now I want you to move and vocalize like a python snake. And action. Freeze, and neutral. Very good. Today, we are going to explore the folklore of Anansi the Spider. Folklore are traditional customs, beliefs, or stories that are passed down through word of mouth by a community of people. Anansi stories were originated by the Ashanti people of the Gold Coast of West Africa, which is now called Ghana. The Ashanti believe that plants, animals, and trees have souls. They also believe in fairies, witches, and forest monsters. These beliefs inspired Anansesem, or spider stories. Anansi is a clever spider who uses his intelligence to outwit anyone he faces, usually using trickery as well. He also learns lessons along the way. So we are going to act out the origin story, Anansi and the tiger, pausing at different parts of the story to explore some of the characters more deeply using movement and vocalizations. And since Anansi and the Tiger is an origin story, we're also going to find out the explanation of what came to be in the end. Are you ready? Anansi and the Tiger. An Ashanti origin story. Once upon a time, there was a spider named Anansi. And in that place and in that time, all the stories were about Tiger. Tiger and the elephant. Tiger the Great. Tiger knew he had all the best stories. Well, Anansi was fed up with this, and he decided that he would trick Tiger into giving him all of his stories. So, Anansi went to Tiger's cave. "Oh, Tiger," said Anansi. Tiger prowled out of his cave and growled at Anansi. "What do you want?" "Well, I've come to make you a deal," said Anansi. "I'll give you 2 things that you want if you give me all of your stories." Well, Tiger was also fed up with Anansi, and he thought, this would be a good way of getting rid of him. And then he made it extra tricky for Anansi. "Go get me a barrel of bees, and after that, a python," said Tiger.
Freeze. We're going to explore the animal character, Tiger. Find a safe space to move around, then stand in neutral. When I say action, move and vocalize like Tiger, saying the line, "What do you want?" And action.
"Rawr, rawr. What do you want? Rawr."
Freeze and neutral.
So Anansi went off to the beehive. "Oh, bees," said Anansi. Well, out of the beehive came the queen bee. "Is it true," asked Anansi, "that bees argue all the time?" "No," said the queen bee. "We work as a team." "Prove it," demanded Anansi. "Get all of your bees organized in this barrel." Well, one by one, each of the bees went into the barrel. And when they were all in, Anansi slammed the lid shut, trapping them inside.
Freeze. We're going to explore the animal character, Queen Bee. Find a safe space to move around, then stand in neutral. When I say action, I want you to move and vocalize like Queen Bee, saying the line, "We work as a team." And action.
"We work as a team."
Freeze and neutral.
With this done, Anansi went off to see Python. "Oh, Python," said Anansi. Python slithered out of her home. "Is it true," asked Anansi, "that cobra is the longest snake?" "No," said Python. "It's me." "Prove it," demanded Anansi. "Cobra is as long as this stick." So Python lay down next to the stick but found herself just short. I know, said Anansi. I'll tie your tail to the stick. Then you could stretch your neck out as far as you can and prove you are the longest snake. So Python let Anansi tie her tail, and she stretched out and out, but still was a little short. Said Anansi. Let me tie the middle of your body to the stick. Then you could stretch your head out as long as you can and prove you are the longest snake. So Python let Anansi tie the middle of her body to the stick. And then when he had the middle of her body tied down, he quickly grabbed her head, tied that to the stick as well.
Freeze! We're going to explore the animal character, Python. Find a safe space to move around. Then stand in neutral. When I say action, I want you to move and vocalize like Python, saying the line, "No, it's me." And action.
No, it's me.
Freeze. And neutral.
So, with his barrel full of bees and Python on a stick, Anansi went back to see Tiger. Ta-da-da-da-da! Ta-da! Tiger had to admit defeat. You win, Anansi. Here are all my stories. That's why, if you go back to that place where Anansi lives, you will find no sign of Tiger or any of his stories. They all belong to Anansi. The end. Today, we used vocalizations and movement to explore some of the characters in the Ashanti origin story, Anansi and the Tiger. Anansi's stories are about an underdog who overcomes obstacles. And we discovered the clever ways Anansi tricked Queen Bee and Python, and especially Tiger. We also learned why it came to be that tigers do not live in that place being Africa. Tigers only live in Asia. So by taking all of Tiger's stories away from him, Anansi secured his spot as a master storyteller, bringing stories that preserve African culture and identity to the whole world. It's time for today's journal prompt.
I want you to think about the characters and the action in Anansi and the Tiger. And I want you to write 3 short paragraphs describing the problem, that is what Anansi wanted, the solution, how Anansi solved his problem, and the ending, did he get what he wanted? And remember, use details.
Thank you so much for exploring the Ashanti origin story, Anansi and the Tiger, with me today. See you next time.